and welcome! Today we are going to be painting 3 rocks and we're going to be hiding them along with many others out in public. These 3 rocks, I'm going to show you how to paint them and hopefully maybe this will inspire you to paint and hide your own. These are very simple and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is choose your rock as well as your colors. These are the brands and colors I use, but you're more than welcome to use whichever colors you would like. The next thing I did was add a white base coat to try to help some of those lighter colors I'm going to put on the rock really pop out. The next thing I did was I went in with my dark purple and made my way down to my lightest color, which was orange. And I added some white here and there to help blend some of the colors, as well as dark purple and orange in other places to kind of make it seem more smooth. I then added some clouds, but I didn't really like just the plain white cloud look, so I went in and added some shades underneath the clouds to give it more of that sunset hue puffy cloud look that I was going for. I added some pink on the bottom as well as orange and even mixed the 2 colors to give it sort of a peachy shade. And just to be noted, I did find these designs off of Pinterest, but I did put my own twist on these just to kind of put my own personality into these stones. Pinterest is one of my favorite apps when it comes to rock painting. There's a lot of beautiful designs on there and it really helps inspire me with some of these rocks. As you can see, I am using the caps to hold my paint because it's kind of a waste to dump them onto a painting tray or onto something else. I don't typically use all of the paints that I dump out, so instead I just shake up the bottles and use the paint that is stuck to the cap, and if I need more, I just put the cap back on and shake it up again. Also, this old paintbrush works really well to try to get these clouds. It makes them poofy just the way that I like, and it helps add some texture. I would also just like to point out that I am not a professional painter. I just like to paint and hide rocks as a hobby and to make people smile. The next thing I am doing here is I'm sketching out my design that I also found off of Pinterest, which is a dream catcher. I'm just using a regular mechanical pencil for this, and I'm trying to go lightly to not scrape the paint off of the rock. The next thing I'm doing is I'm taking my Sharpie and I'm going over everything. It's a lot more simple than using a black paint because this is a lot more clean, and with my pencil I'm going over some of the lead lines that I missed just to help clean it up a little bit. After this, I am pretty much done with the stones design. I am going to paint the back of it black, and I am going to Mod Podge it later, which you will see later on in the video. For this next rock, I am doing a cute Pusheen rock, and these are the paints and supplies that I used for this one. I did sketch his design directly on the rock, and I had a few difficulties here and there with his feet and his tail, but overall in the end I think he turned out really cute. After I was done sketching everything out, I did go over it with a black Sharpie just to kind of help me see better whenever I'm painting directly onto it. Then, using a small square brush, I went in with the light purple. I didn't want to do the light purple background first and then draw on Pusheen just because I wouldn't be able to see Pusheen very well. I did take my gray and I added some water into it just to help water it down and make it into some of those small crevices, and going in with the darker gray I helped fill in some of those lines. Then after everything I did go over it with a black Sharpie just to help it pop out. And for my last rock today, also inspired by Pinterest, I used these paints as well as these tools to paint this rock. And just like my last sunset rock that I painted, I started with my darkest color, which was the red in this case, and made my way down to the lightest color, just creating a sort of ombre sunset look. For the clouds on this sunset, I used the exact same brush, but instead of dotting it on, I kind of smeared on the clouds to give it more of a flattened cloud look. Now this is a silhouette rock, so as you can see me doing here, I am going over the bottom of it to kind of mark out the land before drawing on the cat. And here's me drawing and painting on the cat, and as well as the tree off in the distance that the cat is looking at. At first it kind of started out as a palm tree kind of look, but then I went back over it and tried to make it look more poofy. I did go in and add some more details just to make it really stand out. Then for the back of the rocks, I did paint them black. It does make it look more professional, and you will also see another reason as to why I paint them black later on in the video. One trick I did forget to show on camera is that if the black ends up smearing with some of the other paint on the front, take a black Sharpie and simply go around that border to help define it more. And as you can see here, I am taking the Mod Podge and I am Mod Podging the paint so that way it'll be protected. Now, taking a gold paint pen, I did go over it and tag each of my rocks, just so that way people know who painted it. I then went over it with some Mod Podge just to help seal it up one more time, and then I was finished. I'm very happy with how these rocks turned out. I did go in and add some details off camera, but you are more than welcome to change up these rocks any way you like. And just like that, we are done painting these rocks and they are ready to be hidden. Thank you all so much for watching. I had a blast painting each and every one of these rocks. As you can see, some of these rocks were hidden outside of buildings, inside of buildings, and at parks. Either way, all of these rocks were found and a lot of people did post pictures. So thanks for watching.